ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। ॐ नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्कुं लङ्कयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। हरे कृष्णा। So yes, we have already completed one third of Bhagavad Gita in terms of number of chapters. We have completed till sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The first six chapters of Bhagavad Gita comprises of karma yoga. Majorly Krishna has very elaborately spoken about, first of all he establishes the difference between matter and spirit. Then he says that you should not just be concerned about your material body and material welfare. You are not actually this body, but you are spirit soul. And because you are spirit soul, your concern must be regarding your eternal identity. So that is why we say that Bhagavad Gita is not essentially a book which suggests that you just eat, sleep and be merry in this world, but actually Bhagavad Gita gives you a real perspective towards life, what actually really life is. Krishna, the ultimate authority of the Vedic wisdom, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Krishna's the Bhagavan Swayam, he himself comes in front of us and he says that what should be your perspective, what should be your philosophy, what should be the ultimate objective for real success in this world. As we know that this is not a book of commandment, but this book of real knowledge. So Krishna first of all establishes the real fact that whatever is eternal is more important. So you should not be just concerned with this temporary body and your temporary material needs and temporary material welfare or temporary material relationships, but you should be actually concerned about your eternal identity as a spirit soul and what you can do so that you can re-establish your constitutional position. That is Bhagavad Gita all about. So if anyone quotes from the Gita and suggests you about something material or how to be materially successful, or see, that can be a byproduct, but that is not the ultimate objective of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita essentially speaks about distinguishing between matter and spirit, understanding that we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna, and we have to, at the end of the day, attain his lotus feet. That is our ultimate shelter. So, and someday or the other, not just finding happiness and reasons to be stuck in this material world, but someday or the other to get out of the clutches of this material world, and to go back to our eternal, to have our eternal business. That is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So Krishna first of all established that you are not just body but the spirit soul, and then he suggests a number of methods, a number of yoga and dhyana. He talks about several things, that how you can re-establish, how you can get on a spiritual platform, not just be stuck in this material bodily conception of life. So Krishna was speaking about all those things. And after that, we saw that towards the end of chapter number 6, especially verse number 47, the last verse of uh, chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, which was entitled Dhyana Yoga, which was speaking about Ashtanga Yoga and everything. So in that, we saw a series of verses in which Krishna ranks that which process is better, like that. And towards the end, Krishna says that uh, this yoga system, this is the best among everything else. It is better than just renouncing and doing, becoming an ascetic. It is better than even becoming a jnani. It is so that is what Krishna says. And after that, Krishna speaks about what is the highest form of yoga. In the last verse, he says that the highest form of yoga is bhakti yoga. You have to surrender unto me and make me the ultimate object of your life. That is the ultimate, that is the greatest form of yoga that we can say. So bhakti yoga. This is why we see that throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada, in his purports and in his translations, he uses the word Krishna consciousness a lot of time. He speaks about bhakti a lot of time, and many a times people criticize, Prabhupada, saying that where there was no, there was no bhakti, there also Prabhupada wrote about bhakti. But there are multifold reasons behind it, from which the most grosser detail, or the most grosser form of what do you say reason behind Prabhupada writing it in such a fashion, is that that is what Krishna is speaking in the Bhagavad Gita ultimately, right? So if a person is only about to, he is just going to read one page of Bhagavad Gita, still he must get the benefit. Still he must get the idea of what Krishna is trying to speak in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the reason, that is a much grosser form of reason why Prabhupada is writing about bhakti on every pages. And we saw, by completing one third of the Gita, we understood that yes, essentially Krishna is speaking about bhakti in Bhagavad Gita. So it is very important. So if a particular form of if the essence, we should always read the entire book with the perspective of the essence that the author wants to give you, right? Whatever book you read, the you must always focus on the essence. Like for example, if there is a mother and a child, right? The mother, she is always taking care of the child. She is always feeding him very nicely. She is always dressing him properly. She is always catering to each and every need of his. She is even sacrificing her own basic needs like sleep and all those things for the sake of the child. That's how much she loves her child. But sometimes when the child is very mischievous and she is anxious about his future, she might sometimes scold the child. She might sometimes beat up the child also, right? She might be speaking very harshly to the child, or she might beat up the child. But if somebody is only looking at that part, say for example, he has only seen the mother beating the child, and out of context he may say that the mother hates the child, right? But actually, is it so that the mother hates the child? No. Even so, we have to judge even that incident based on the essence of their relationship. The essence of their relationship is that the mother loves the child so much that she serves the child selflessly. So, apparent beating or apparent violence on the child imposed by the mother should all be interpreted on the basis of the essence of their relationship, which means that even if she is scolding the child, it is out of love, not hatred for that child. That is what it is. So it is very important to understand that we have to understand what the essence of a book is. What is that which the speaker is giving a lot of emphasis on? What is there in the heart of Krishna, that we have to understand, and on the basis of that we have to understand what Gita is trying to say us. Many a times we see that people just keep Krishna out of the picture and write about Gita. But how can you do that? Krishna is the primary speaker of Bhagavad Gita, so we cannot do that. In every verse, every time the speaker is switched, every time Krishna is going to speak, it is said that Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. It is not that somebody says Sri Madhusudana Uvacha or Krishna Uvacha. No, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. It is actually reminding us all the time that who is the personality who is speaking. We should be very alert. It is not an ordinary personality. He is not an ordinary mortal like any of us who is speaking. So it is very important to keep Krishna in the center. At the same time, we should understand what is there in the heart of Krishna. Right? So why am I giving such a long introduction is that till sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spoken about so many things. Now from seventh to 12th chapter, Krishna is going to speak out his heart. Right? 7 to 12 is exclusively going to speak about bhakti. Right? In the seventh chapter, Krishna will reveal a great sort of knowledge of who he is, what his energies are, how things are working, and all those things. It is very interesting. We will understand in philosophically at least that who is Krishna. Right? We all have our own mental concoctions and speculations on what God would be or how he might be and all those things. But now Krishna will reveal his heart, that who is he, who are us, what is this nature, what is our relationship with the nature and with Krishna. That's what we are going to understand in this chapter. Very important chapter. It's a very beautiful chapter. It's actually nectar. We must drink this chapter actually. Yeah. So we'll start with the seventh chapter, this being the introduction. And I'll share the screen. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Nyasyasi Tachrunu. कृष्ण से श्री भगवान उवाच. किसने कहा? भगवान ने कहा. श्री भगवान उवाच मयि आसक्त मनाह पार्थ. Okay? मयि, मयि मतलब मैं, मुझ में. So my means it is referring to Krishna. Krishna is telling that to me, like that. Okay. My आसक्त मनाह पार्थ. आसक्त मतलब हिंदी में जो मतलब है वही है, आसक्त होना, अटैच होना, like that. So my asakta, somebody who is attached in me. What is attached? Mana. Mana means mind. So asakta manaha means attached mind. And attached on whom? My. Krishna is saying on me. So somebody whose mind is attached on Krishna. Partha is calling to Arjuna. Yogam yunjan madashrayah. And what is he doing? Yogam. Yogam means what? Linking. Or he is self-realizing. Yogam yunjan. He is performing, practicing yoga. Okay. Mad ashrayah. Mad again means Krishna is saying taking ashraya of me. Right. Mad ashraya means that person is performing yoga thinking of me. Right. So what does these two lines collectively mean? That somebody who is doing yoga, yogam yunjan, mad ashraya, taking ashraya of me or always being conscious about me, and he is having his mind is such that it is asakta manaha. Mai asaktamana. His mind is attached to me. So somebody whose mind is attached to me and he is performing yoga, taking my ashraya, asamshayam samagram mam. Yatha nyasyasi tachrono. So he's saying that asamshayam. Asamshayam matlab bina samshaya ka. Samshaya means doubt, and asamshayam means its opposite. Asamshayam, without a doubt. Samagram means in every respect, completely. Samagram mam. Mam means about me, right? Me, mam. Yatha nyasyasi tachranu. Yatha, how, nyasyasi, you can know, like he can know, such a person can know. tat shrunu, ये आप सुनो मेरे से, ऐसा. सो भगवान ये कह रहे हैं कि जो व्यक्ति मुझ में, जिसका मन मुझ में आसक्त होता है और वो भक्ति योग करता है मेरा आश्रय लेकर, असंशयम समग्रम, वो मेरे बारे में सब कुछ जान लेता है. क्या क्या जानता है अभी सुन लो मेरे से. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Pratha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So, what is Krishna saying here? What is Krishna trying to speak? What is Krishna speaking about here? We all want to know who Krishna is, right? Without knowing him, how can we be attached to him? So, we must know who Krishna is, but Krishna is giving some qualifications. Like, how will you know me? That is what Krishna is saying. Who will know him? The first quality is that Maya Saktamanaha. His mind should be attached to me. That is what Krishna is saying. His mind should be attached to Krishna. That is the first quality of understanding Krishna. Then only you will understand Krishna. Without any doubts, you will understand. But what is the necessary qualification for understanding? The first qualification is Maya Saktamanaha. Your mind should be attached to Krishna. आसक्त, आसक्त होना चाहिए मन भगवान में. मन आसक्त होने का मतलब क्या है? इट मीन्स दैट यू आर ऑलवेज थिंकिंग ऑफ हिम, यू आर हैंकरिंग बिहाइंड हिम, राइट? That is the idea. You are hankering that Krishna, I want you. Krishna, I want you. I don't want anything else. I want you. I want to know you. That is what attachment is, right? Attachment necessarily means that you are ready to go to any extent to get Krishna. I'll do anything and everything to get you. My mind is attached. And second thing is that attaching your mind to Krishna also necessarily means that you have detached your mind from matter. Why is it so? Because these both things are exactly opposite. Somebody whose mind and senses are dwelling behind all the sense objects of this world, how can he focus on the pure spirit who is Krishna? It is not possible. Krishna says that you have to purify your mind, then only you can see Krishna, right? So which means that attachment to Krishna also means detachment from matter. This is practical. You can apply this in your life. When will you understand that you are attached to Krishna? That is when you realize that you are losing taste for this world. Losing taste for this world necessarily not mean that you will run away from your responsibilities. That is not what I'm speaking about. I'm saying that you are in this world, but at the same time you are not affected by this world. You're not affected by the currents of this world. You are not agitated by this world. You're not agitated by what people are speaking about you, how people are treating you. You're not affected by kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, and matsarya. You have no envy for other living entities. You don't have lust, anger, or disease. Or maybe not that you don't have, at least in this stage we cannot say that we will never have all these things, but you can tolerate their provocations. You can tolerate. So that's when we can say that you are not really attached to matter, but your mind is always fixed in Krishna. So when your mind is fixed in Krishna, you're attached to Krishna. That's when we can say that mai asakta manaha is there. ऐसा हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि when you are not interested in this world, but Your mind is always dwelling behind Krishna, just like a honeybee in search of honey. So Krishna's face is like a beautiful, is a honeymoon. Today only I was listening to this. So, and we like bumblebees, we are, going after the lotus feet of Krishna. It's like a lotus. So we are always going there, always fragrant like that. Our mind should be like that. That's the first thing. Maya asakta manaha partha. So our mind should be attached to Krishna, so to understand him completely. Without that, we cannot understand him. It is not like any other ordinary subject matter. It is not just about hearing or reading. It is also about realizing. This is something we can, we have experience in this world. Knowing about Krishna is not just about reading a number of books, or listening to a lot of lectures. It is not an intellectual process. It is a process which is happening in consciousness. Your intellect is also material. How can you catch Krishna with matter? He is supreme spirit. प्रेमांजन चुरित भक्ति विलोचनेन संत सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यम श्याम सुंदरम अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमाम भजामि. Achintya. Achintya guna swarupam. Achintya means inconceivable. It is not conceivable by your mind or intellect. You cannot bind Krishna inside your intellect. We have a very small intelligence. He's spirit and our intellect is also matter. So how can we catch hold of spirit with matter? It is not possible. Right? So we should not try to artificially understand Krishna by reading. It's not possible. Right? But we must try to realize Krishna. That is possible. And when is that possible? When your mind is attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is when it is possible. It is not just possible because I want it तो मुझे मिल जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होगा. You should be humble. You should be grateful. You should have all those good qualities. You should have a mind which is shant, and try to focus that mind on the lotus feet of Krishna and say him that you are very flickery. You are running away, but I am trying to get hold of you. Please help me. He'll help you very kindly. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sthataiva bhajami. Somebody, to the degree of how much you surrender, Krishna reveals himself. Krishna protects you. Krishna reciprocates with you. It is to the degree of our surrender and sincerity that Krishna reveals. So it is not possible just to artificially understand Krishna, but we have to attach our mind to the lotus feet of Krishna so that someday Krishna will reveal him to you because he considers you worthy of that. That is the thing. Maya asakta mana partha. We have to be, our mind should be attached to Krishna. So the first thing. Yogam yunjan madashraya. So does that mean कि मन आसक्त हो गया उसके बाद में ऐसे बैठे रहेंगे, मन को आसक्त कर कर ऐसे बैठे रहेंगे? नहीं, योगम युंजन. You should perform yoga. And when we say you should perform yoga, am I speaking about all those postures and all? Not necessarily. Yogam yunjan here means that you should perform your sadhana, like chanting the holy names, reading Bhagavatam, hearing from Vaishnavas. You should, the 9 limbs of bhakti. That is yogam, Yunjan. You should perform it. You should endeavor for Krishna. You should personally render services to him. You should find a Vaishnava, surrender your life to him, and make his service the prime object of your life. You will get Krishna for sure. For sure, you will get Krishna. This is what I have seen with my eyes. You know, the seniors and all those people, they have got Krishna. Why? Because they have sincerely endeavored to render service. That service attitude is very important. So yogam yunjan does not necessarily mean that you should go to a secluded place and do ashtanga yoga. No, it means that you should render service, and also you should perform your sadhana very well. This is what yogam yunjan. And how should you do yoga? Yogam yunjan mad ashrayah. It's very important. Sometimes what happens is that even if you are taking some service, like for example chanting the holy name is a service to the Lord. actually. It is also a service. So when we chant the holy name, after a point of time, it becomes mechanical, like any other service. Like for example, if a Mataji is cooking, okay, so cooking is also a great service to Krishna, right? But after a point of time, it becomes mechanical. You are just cooking for home, for family. Then why are you offering bhoga? Because that is what we are told. We have to eat prasadam, so we do bhoga and eat. You think Krishna will accept? No. Mad ashrayah. Your consciousness should be fixed on Krishna. That is the most important part. Yogam yunjan mad ashrayah. You should be thinking about Krishna. You should be conscious that I am cooking this for my Lord. In the initial days of ISKCON, Prabhupada would, personally teach the devotees how they must cook, what they must think, and the cleanliness standard when you are cooking, what you must cook, what you must offer, how you must offer. And Prabhupada would say that you should always remember you are dealing with Krishna. What happens is that we forget that our consciousness is so degraded that after a point of time it becomes a ritual, right? So when you take out the spirit from the spirit from spiritual, it becomes a ritual. You are doing it every day, but it will not give you necessary results so fast. Why? Because it's not spiritual, it is ritual now. So mad ashraya is very important. If it is mad ashraya, which means you are taking ashraya of Krishna, you are always thinking of him, you are conscious of him when you are rendering your service and doing your sadhana. At that time, that is when Krishna reveals. एल्स इट बिकम्स अ रिचुअल. आप थोड़े दिन करोगे, उसके बाद में वो एक रिचुअल बनता जाएगा. इट इज भक्ति इज वेरी इजी, इट्स वेरी सिंपल. You have to just think of him, you have to render him service, you have to have faith that he is a person and he is standing there to accept. It is just that I cannot see him with my eyes now. I cannot hear to his flute sound with my ears. But I am sure that in some years it is possible. Some days it is possible. Even in some moments it can be possible. It is just that how much consciousness, how much cleansed my consciousness is, how much purified I am, and how much attached my mind is to the lotus feet of Krishna. They have this, great acharyas uh, uh, in the line, and even in other sampradayas. Even if you take, Srimad Bhagavatam, many scriptures and all, we see that devotees get Krishna very instantly. Krishna is very pleased. He is actually waiting. When we will, turn away from matter and look at him and say that, my dear Lord, please come. So mad ashraya is very important. So how you must perform your service, your sadhana? Mad ashraya. You should be thinking about Krishna. You should take ashraya of Krishna. You should surrender unto Krishna and do. That is one. So two things. One is that my, asakta manaha. Your mind should be attached to Krishna. Second thing is yogam yunjan mad ashraya. You should take ashraya of Krishna and do yoga. Right? And if you do these things, what happens? Asamshayam samagram. You will get Krishna. Asamshayam. No, without a doubt, you will get him. You will understand him. There is no other way to understand him than devotional service. Yatha nasyasi tachrunu. And how is that? Now Krishna is going to tell Arjuna that who he actually is. What it is. They're very beautiful purports, especially this chapter has, uh, like very, very beautiful purports. This chapter has. You must read it definitely. If possible, today only, if you read it, would be very nice. ज्ञानं तेहं सविज्ञानम् इदं वक्ष्याम्यशेषतः यज्ञात्वा नेह भूयोऽन्यात् ज्ञात ज्ञातव्यम् avashishyate. It's a very beautiful verse. Krishna says, Jnanam teham savijnanam. Jnanam te aham savijnanam. Aham means I. Okay. So now Krishna is telling Arjuna how you can understand. So he is saying that two things are necessary. Jnanam te aham savijnanam. Along with jnanam, there should be vijnanam. Okay. Then idam vakshyami asheshatah. So this Krishna will explain asheshatah in full. Yat ज्ञात्वा न इह भूयो अन्यत् ज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते. यत ज्ञात्वा, जो जानने के पश्चात. Once you know this, okay, once you know Krishna, once you know about material nature, once you know about your own identity, yat jnatva na iha. So na plus iha, because of sandhi, it has become neha. Okay, it is na iha bhuyo. Na is a negation, and iha bhuyo anyat. So in this world, anyat, दूसरा कुछ, anya, ज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते. ज्ञातव्यम means to be known, or knowable. ज्ञातव्यम अवशिष्यते. ऐसा कुछ किसी का अवशेष नहीं होता, जैसे कि ये जानने के पश्चात और कोई चीज जानने के लिए नहीं बचता. अवशिष्यते, remains. Okay. So, knowing about Krishna, Jnanam, Savijnanam, and Vijnanam also. So, Jnanam means bookish or theoretical knowledge, and Vijnanam means realized knowledge. But in this verse, actually, Jnanam and Vijnanam is being spoken for two different things. Like Jnanam here refers to the theoretical understanding of how this world is, about the material nature, which is also energy of Krishna only. And Vijnanam in this verse means knowing about Krishna. Because, like we told earlier, knowing Krishna is not theoretical. You cannot just read some books and understand Krishna. It is not possible, right? So you have to realize Krishna. So realizing Krishna comes under Vijnanam. So that's why Krishna is going to speak about two things now. Krishna is going to speak about his energy and himself. So Jnanam refers to that energy part, which is theoretical knowledge, phenomenal science. And Vijnanam means understanding him. That is out of realization, not only theoretical knowledge. It is also important. If you only hear and read about Krishna, that is when you understand him. That is when you have that inclination towards realizing him. But along with that, realization is also important. So realized knowledge. So Vijnanam here refers to knowing Krishna, and Jnanam here refers to knowing the energies of Krishna. Idam vakshyami asheshatah. So, yeah, idam means this. So I shall explain this. Aham idam vakshyami. So I will explain this asheshatah in full. कोई कुछ शेष में नहीं बचेगा. Everything I will explain. Yad jnatva, by knowing which, na iha bhuyo, in this world nothing, anyat, nothing else, jnatavyam, knowable, avashishyate, remains. So after knowing which, after having jnanam and vijnanam about me, whatever I am going to speak now, there is nothing in this world which is worth knowing, remains. So this is the highest knowledge that you can ever have. That is what it means. Because it is not spoken by any authority, any ordinary personality. It is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Sri Bhagavan. So what is he saying? I will tell you all those things. You listen carefully. Tachrunu. Because after knowing this and realizing, there will be nothing else of this world which is to be known, which is as serious as this. There will be nothing left to know only. That's what Krishna is saying. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. So this phenomenal here refers to jnana, right? So phenomenal means it is speaking about the material energy, the external energy of Krishna, and numinous is vijnana, which is speaking about realizing Krishna. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चित् यतति सिद्धये यतताम् अपि सिद्धानां कश्चिन् मां वेति तत्त्वतः. So now Krishna is going to speak about how many people know this. ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ना, हम लोग कोई चीज बताते हैं तो उससे पहले ये भी बताते हैं ना ये किस किस को पता है, ऐसे बोलते. सो नाउ कृष्णा इज सेइंग दैट हाउ मेनी पीपल नो मी. दैट इज व्हाट कृष्णा इज सेइंग. कृष्णा इज सेइंग व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. इट इज टू अंडरस्टैंड मी. Understanding me, two things are very important. First thing is that your mind should be attached to me. The second thing is that you should perform yoga, mad ashrayah. It is important, then only you can know me. Then Krishna says that, so I will tell you about me in full. Then he says that there are two things, jnanam and vijnanam, right? In the previous verse he was saying there is jnanam and vijnanam, and after knowing this eternal truth, there will be nothing in this world that will be left for you which is worth knowing. That's what Krishna says. Now he is saying that who knows this? Okay. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Manushyanam, manushyo mein, in human beings or in the living entities, manushyanam sahasreshu, there are thousands of varieties of manushya. So all these manushyas, from these people, kaschid yatati siddhaye. So only some people, kaschid yatati siddhaye, they, siddhi means perfection. So yatati siddhaye means somebody endeavors for perfection. So from this billions and billions and trillions of people, only some people endeavor for perfection. That is what Krishna is saying. And this is something we also know, right? In this world, we have seen how many people are interested in Krishna and how many people are behind material things. From that only we can understand the proportion. So Krishna is speaking. Krishna is saying that from many people, only a bare minimum, only some are inclined towards perfection. He's not saying that only they become perfect. He's not talking about that. He's saying that manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye, they want to become perfect in spiritual understanding. They want perfection. Yatatam api siddhanam, and from them, who, not people who are yatati siddhayam, but Krishna in the second verse he is saying that somebody who has perfected, right? See, there are many people, from them only some, शायद तक कुछ लोग ऐसे रहते हैं जो, those who want siddhi, those who want perfection in their life, and from people who have already perfected, which means that अभी और कम हो गए लोग, क्योंकि somebody who was endeavoring for siddhi, he said that they are only very rare, and among them only some people will be perfect. And among those people, now Krishna is saying yatatam api siddhanam, from the siddhas, among the siddhas who have perfected, kaschin mam veti tatvatah, only some, rarely someone knows me in tattva, in fact. What should I say? Kaschin mam veti, knows. Kaschin mam veti tatvatah. Only some people know me. From the perfected living beings. From perfected living beings, only some people know me in fact. You see how rare it is to understand Krishna? Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Krishna is saying. Now one might have this doubt. सी परफेक्शन मतलब तो फिर ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? परफेक्ट हो गए और उसके बाद में मुझे नहीं जानते का मतलब क्या होता है? हाँ, now this is very important. See, perfection in spiritual science, as we have discussed before also, perfection has three levels. One is Brahman realization, one is Paramatma realization, and ultimately is Bhagavan realization. So somebody who is, Brahman realized, who has got moksha or who is about to get moksha, somebody who have realized Paramatma, they are also perfected living entities only, because they are not, you cannot count them in the group of people who are behind matter. No, they have already realized spiritual existence, so they have perfected their life. But even though they have perfected their life, but still they don't know Krishna in completeness, right? So that is why we say that knowing Krishna in completeness is possible through bhakti only. This is what Krishna is also saying. So is it so that if we say that following any path, or having devotion towards anyone, being devoted towards anyone, any devata, or following any process will get you to the ultimate benefit? No, that is not sanctioned by Bhagavad Gita. See, this verse is very clear. It is saying that Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Only some people are there who strive for perfection, and from the people who strive for perfection, those people who get perfection, from them hardly one knows Krishna, and knowing Krishna is the ultimate perfection, right? So yes, this essentially means that knowing Krishna is the ultimate perfection, and not everybody who is even a perfected living entity knows Krishna. Hardly someone knows me. That is what Krishna is saying here. So that is why we say that doing anything and everything won't get you, won't give you the ultimate benefit. It is not possible. It is not actually sanctioned by Bhagavad Gita. Now Krishna, from this verse onwards, from the fourth verse onwards, Krishna is going to now speak about knowledge of Krishna's energies. That is what Krishna is going to speak. From fourth verse to 12th verse, he is going to speak about his energies now. So till here, till the third verse of Bhagavad Gita, whatever we have discussed, we saw that Krishna is actually giving an introduction to bhakti. He is giving an introduction to himself, what I am, to what it is. So first of all, Krishna spoke about the objective. Then Krishna spoke about, Krishna told that I will tell you. Then after that, Krishna also described how many people know me and what is perfection, that we discussed. Now from fourth verse to 12th verse, Krishna is going to speak about his energies. So Krishna is energetic, and he has many energies which work for him. So out of many different kinds of energies, there are some prominent energies. Like there is internal energy of the Lord, that is Antaranga Shakti, which is known as Antaranga Maya or Yoga Maya sometimes. Then there is Bahiranga Shakti, which is outside Krishna, and it is called Mahamaya, the Bahiranga Shakti. Then the third is Tathastha Shakti, which is us, which is in between. That is Tathastha Shakti, which is us. The living entities are called Tathastha Shakti. We are also Krishna's energy only. Krishna will explain in the following verses. So before that, we must understand that what all these energies are actually doing. So the Bahiranga Shakti, that is Maya, is actually the material nature, matter. All these material things, they are actually product of Mahamaya. And who is Mahamaya? She is Shakti of Krishna, and Krishna is the Shaktiman. So eternally speaking, and speaking the highest truth, there is only one Shaktiman or one Purusha, and everything else is Prakriti or Maya. You can say the energy of the Lord. So the energy belongs to the energetic. So the modern science, this is the problem with modern science, that it is only speaking about the energy. It is not speaking about energetic. It is saying that there is energy is like this, energy is like that, conservatism and all those things. But it is not, it is actually forgetting that for the energy to exist, there must be an energetic to whom the energy belongs. So that is Krishna. So Krishna is the energetic, and there is his energy. So through his energy, he does everything. Like, so the external energy of Krishna is known as Mahamaya, and this Mahamaya is where the Jivas, who are Tatastha Shakti of Krishna, who are part and parcel of Krishna, they are also Shakti of Krishna, but at the same time, they have some propensity to act like the energetic, right? For example, if we say, if you take the position of Krishna, Krishna is the supreme Purusha. He's the supreme personality. Now everything else belongs to him, and because everything else belongs to him, everything else must be utilized in his service. Everything else must be utilized in his service. That is the idea. But sometimes some jivas, like for us, for example us, we all are actually property of Krishna. We belong to him, we are part of his energy. This Maya, this is also part of his energy only. But at the same time, we have the tendency to enjoy Maya like Krishna. That is our mentality. If we have to, it's a very deep topic. Actually, this is the topic which will unfold the mysteries of why we are bound in this material world. Sometimes we have this doubt ना कि हम लोग क्यों बंधे हुए हैं इसके अंदर, हम क्यों नहीं निकल पा रहे. This is a fundamental problem. We are trying to act like the energetic. We are trying to act as if we want to exploit this material energy, which is actually not belonging to us, it is belonging to Krishna. The fundamental nature of the living entity, of the soul, being part and parcel of Krishna and being an energy of the Lord, is to render loving service to Him. Like, for example, the we have different body parts, right? Every body part can do a certain kind of activity. Like, for example, there are certain things that our hand can do, our eyes can see, our ears can hear, our nose can smell, and all those things. And these things collectively work for us, right? It collectively works for us. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna, so each and every one of us is naturally supposed to render services to Krishna, who is the supreme whole, because we are his energy, right? So a jiva's true ananda is there, his true ecstasy or his true happiness is fundamentally there in serving Krishna. Apart from that, whatever we do, we end up frustrated only. We have experience in this world. Just take some moment, not now but after the class, and think that whatever endeavors I have done in my life, have I got the got everything right? Why was failure coming behind? Am I happy every time I thought that if I get this one more thing, if I can control just this person, or if I can have this thing, I will be happy? And but are we really happy in this world, or are we frustrated? That is the question. So if we are frustrated and if we are not happy and if we are searching for happiness, that means that fundamentally we are supposed to be happy, but we are not happy the way we are. It is because we were never supposed to be the people, the persons that we are right now. We were never supposed to have this controllership mentality, proprietorship mentality ki ye mera hai, this is mine, I want to control this, you have to listen to me, I'm your husband, you have to listen to me because I'm a father. you know this I me mine conceptions, trying to control, trying to possess, and trying to be a proprietor, all these things, it is what are we actually doing? We are trying to lord it over the material nature, which is the energy of the Lord. We are also energy of the Lord. But what are we trying to do? We are not acting like energies, but we are acting like energetic. We are Prakriti, but we are acting like Purusha. This is the fundamental problem. And why are we not recognizing it? It is because of the false ego, the ahankara within us. That main ye hu, main wo hu. That's why Prabhupada, he always translates ahankar into false ego. That is not our real ego. What is our real ego? Jivera, Swarupoye, Krishna Nitya. We are supposed to be eternally servants of Krishna. That is our real ego. And everything that we are doing apart from that ego is our false ego. That is our false conception. So, because we are having this false conception about us, that is the reason why we are suffering in this world. So we have to just change, make that shift, and engage in the service of the Lord, and once again be happy. Right? So that is the idea. So there is external energy of the Lord, which is known as Mahamaya. So when we are having this false ego, and because of the illusional spell which is kept by Mahamaya on us, that is why we always feel that the next time I will be successful. I'll be successful now. I'll just lord it over now, like that. It is a spell, it is an illusion actually. It is never going to happen. There is nobody in this world who has controlled the material energy, because it belongs to Krishna. It is not ours at the end of the day. Right. So there is external energy of the Lord. What's her duty? Her name is Durga. Durga means she is a fortress keeper. So it's a very big fort, and the jailer is Durga Devi. She will not let you go out. How? By putting you in illusions. She has a trishul in her hand, and in that trishul, what does the trishul indicate? The three modes of material nature: Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. With these three gunas, with the gunas, interestingly, also means rope in Sanskrit. With this rope, she is actually controlling everybody because of Sattoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna, which is actually Mahamaya's. It's Mahamaya's instrument, or it is Mahamaya only. It's her form, you can say. With that three modes of material nature, we are being controlled, we are being conditioned, we are being doing what we are not supposed to do, we are not even realizing all those things. It is because we are under illusion. हम लोग इसलिए बोलते हैं ना, सब मोह माया है, मोह माया है. जो मोह माया बोलता है वो खुद ही माया में है. It's very difficult to understand. Krishna will only say it is very difficult to cross over my maya. आगे आएगा. Just giving an introduction, how she is working, how this mechanics is going on in this world, how she is influencing us. So Mahamaya, she is external energy of Krishna, and there is an energy which is superior to Mahamaya but inferior to the internal energy of the Lord. That is called Tatastha Shakti. That is us, the living entities. So why are we superior to Maya, Mahamaya? We are superior to the external energy of the Lord because the external energy comprises of matter, right? So Krishna is actually supreme spirit. So matter and spirit are two different things. Matter is impure, spirit is pure. So Krishna is spirit and this is matter. And we are also spirit, but part and parcel. We are qualitatively one with Krishna, we are spiritual, but quantitatively we are subordinate to him. So because we are spiritual entities, we are spirit, we are actually superior to matter. That is why we say that the Tatastha Shakti, or the energy, that the living entities, they are what? They are superior to the external energy of the Lord, which is Maya, which is Mahamaya. So even if we are spirit souls, we have that Sachidananda feature in us. Still, why are we bound? We are bound because of our intention, because of our inclination, because of our misusing of free will to lord it over the material energy, which is not belonging to us, it belongs to Krishna. So the day we decide that I don't want to lord it over the material energy of the Lord, you will be free. So how will you stop uh, this tendency? How will you stop yourself? It is by uh, what do you say, it is just by shifting your focus from trying to becoming an enjoyer and controller and proprietor to your eternal business of lovingly serving the supreme personality of Lord Godhead. That is how you get out of these clutches. So the fourth verse: भूमिरापो नलो वायुः खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इतीयं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. So Krishna is speaking about eight things here. He is saying bhumir, bhumi. Bhumi means आपको पता ही है, earth. Apo, apo means water. Analaha, analaha means fire. And vayuhu, vayu तो आपको पता ही है, wind. Kham, ether. मनो, मन आपका माइंड. बुद्धिर, इंटेलिजेंस. एवचा, certainly all these things. And ahankara, ahankara means false ego. Okay, so eight things. Bhumi, apo. Bhumi is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Eight things. इतियम में भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टधा. So all these things, what are all these things? This is actually nothing but my में भिन्ना प्रकृतिर. भिन्न मतलब मेरे से भिन्न है ये, मतलब ये सारी चीजें भगवान के अंदर नहीं है. समझ रहे हो? ये भगवान से भिन्न है. इट इज एक्सटर्नल टू द लॉर्ड, इट इज सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम द लॉर्ड, बट it is bhinna, but it is prakriti, it is his prakriti, it is his nature, or it is his energy. But what kind of an energy? It is bhinna prakriti, it is an external separated energy. Ashtada, ashtada means eight है ना. अष्टमी मतलब आठवां दिन, तो अष्टदा, अष्ट means eight, तो अष्टदा. So Krishna is saying that all these things, all these elements that we see, everything is nothing but what? It is my own external energy, right? The entire world is actually made up of these eight things only. If you see the five elements that we first spoke about, then they are gross elements with which this body and everything is made in this world, whatever we can see. And the three things, that is man, buddhi and ahankar, they are subtle bodies which is inside every living entity. Okay, so the entire world is actually made up of these things only. So Krishna is saying that, but what kind of energy it is? Bhinna prakriti. It is not part of Krishna. It is bhinna. It is separated, which means it is bahiranga. It is outside Krishna, but at the same time, it belongs to Krishna. That is what it is. It's very important because you have to understand Krishna in tattva. See, it can be boring. um, I don't know whether if it is or not, but it can be. It might be for some people, but at the same time, it is very important to understand Krishna and Tattva. That is when you realize whatever Krishna does is actually divya. It is divya. Like for example, I'll tell you. Like in the Bhagavad Gita only, we have seen in some chapters back that Krishna says, that Arjuna asks Krishna that, my dear Lord, even if I don't want to commit sin, but we see that my mind drags me to there. Why is it so? And Krishna says that, there are actually, it is all your, the greatest enemy that you have is lust, Arjuna. And where does the lust sit? Three places. He says that your senses, your mind, and your intellect, these are the three sitting places of lust, if you remember. So we have to attack the places where the lust sits, right? So what I'm trying to say is, now from lust only everything else gets generated. Like for example, when the lust is not fulfilled, it becomes anger. If it becomes fulfilled, it becomes greed, right? So lust is the root through which everything else is coming. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsari, everything is coming from lust only. Right. So if everything is coming from lust, which means that everything has its attacking point, the strategic point in our body is where? Mind, intelligence, and senses. Now the senses are made up of these five elements: Bhumir, Apo, Analaha, Vayu, Kham. These five things only the body is made up of. So senses तो उससे बना हुआ है. And where is lust sitting? Man and buddhi, this place also. And Krishna is saying that, what is it? Bhinna prakritir ashtadha. It is what? It is bhinna prakriti. It is outside me. It is separated from me, but it is my energy only. That is what Krishna is saying. Now tell me, which means that there is no material body, matlab material senses, no material this thing. When I say material senses, it means that senses made up of bhumi, apo, anala, vayu, and kham. It is not there in Krishna, because Krishna is saying that this is external, this is separated prakriti of mine, right? It is not there in Krishna's body. Secondly, man, buddhi, ahankar, this is also separated. This is also material. This is also outside Krishna, which means that matter has no influence over Krishna, right? If Krishna does not have a material mind, if he does not have a material buddhi, if he does not have material senses, can there be lust in Krishna? That is my question. What do you think? Can there be lust in Krishna? And if there is no lust in Krishna, right? If there is no lust in Krishna, because Krishna says that lust sits at three places. Those three places are not available in Krishna's body. So there cannot be lust in Krishna. If there is no lust in Krishna, which means that there should be no Krodha in Krishna, no Lobha in Krishna, no Moha in Krishna, no Mada in Krishna, no Matsarya in Krishna. Because lust is the root of everything, right? All these imperfections are not found in Krishna. Now you tell me, some people, they say that Krishna was extremely lusty. Because of that, he married 16,108 queens in Dwaraka. Some people say that Krishna was lusty, and because of that, he would do Rasa Leela in Vrindavan. Tell me. Some people say that he killed Kamsa because he was envious of him, or he was, what do you say? He was angry upon him. He was killing everyone because of anger. It was some people say that it was fault of Krishna that he wanted Mahabharata to happen. He was cruel like that. But you tell me, if you don't even, if Krishna doesn't even have these things, how can all these impure, what do you say, tendencies be there in Krishna? Which means that Krishna can never be lusty. Now, for somebody who does not know Krishna in Tattva, who has never read the Gita the way it should be read and understood, who has not studied it scientifically, how will he ever understand the Leelas of Krishna? Our problem is that we just run towards Leela. We don't want to, understand Krishna in Tattva. We just want to get there and, understand, and we want to know the Leelas of Krishna. बताओ बताओ क्या किया, फिर क्या हुआ, फिर रास लीला, हाँ बताओ, ऐसा. So you have to understand who Krishna is, else you will misinterpret everything. You will never understand any act of Krishna. You can never understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without reading Bhagavad Gita. That is it. Because here Krishna clearly speaks about everything. The only thing is how much your mind can perceive and understand. That is why we say that we should hear from someone who has a higher consciousness, who can, get to you all those things, because he is realized. He knows. So you see that the just a single word, bhinna, makes such a big difference. The first time you heard it, you might not have even thought about it in this way. But just by that word bhinna, you can understand that many pastimes of Krishna and all those things can be just misinterpreted because they are not aware of this word bhinna. Because they feel that Krishna is part of this material world. Then he comes down. Similarly, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. In the previous chapters we have seen, Krishna says that Janma Karma Chame Divyam. And somebody who knows this fact, he never comes back. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Maam eti sorjuna. He comes back to me. Or Krishna says. So Krishna says that कि मेरा जन्म और कर्म दिव्य है. क्यों दिव्य है? क्योंकि ये देखो, क्योंकि वो हमारे जैसे है ही नहीं. He is not having this material body. He is completely spiritual. Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Always. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Anadiradra Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. He is the cause behind every manifestation. He is the cause of all causes. Like that. So people with a poor fund of knowledge who don't understand Krishna in Tattva, they are the people who misinterpret everything about Krishna. So just not to be influenced by them, and also to understand and be answerable. See, if you are taking out time in a Sunday evening, listening to this discourse, which definitely means that you have inclination towards Krishna, else you won't do that. You have some inclination towards Krishna because of your past life or whatever, but you have that. That is why you are here. So you have to nourish that. You have to nourish that, that attraction towards Krishna. You have to nourish that bhakti within you. Then only you will attain perfection. But there can be many people who come around in your way like stumbling blocks, and they would have questions that can trick you and all those things. You should not slip over there. That is only possible when you know Krishna in Tattva. And for that, reading Bhagavad Gita is very important. So yes. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these eight constitute my separated material energies. Separated material energies. It's a very beautiful purport again. Definitely read. It's a very beautiful purport. In very simple terms, Prabhupada explains what is false ego and all those things. अपरेयम इतस्त्वन्याम प्रकृतिम विद्धि में पराम जीवभूतां महाबाहो ययेदम धार्यते जगत. सो सी, हम लोग ने क्या बोला कि एक तो ज्ञानम, दूसरा सविज्ञानम, दो चीज है ना. सो अभी ज्ञानम वाले पार्ट के बारे में हम लोग डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं. ज्ञानम के अंदर सबसे पहले तो कृष्णा ने बोला there is an external energy, there is a separated energy of mind which is constituted of 8 elements. Three subtle elements, man, buddhi, and ahankar, and 5 gross elements. Earth, water, fire, ether, air. Those 5 elements. And now Krishna is speaking about one more form of his energy, which is superior to the material energy, the external separated energy. Like that. See. Apareyam itastva anyam. Apara. Apara means inferior. Apara iyam, this. So aparayam means is inferior. Itastva anyam. So besides this inferior energy of mind, so when we connect the fourth and fifth verse, so Krishna spoke about his external separated energy. Now he is saying that aparayam itastvanyam, apart from this inferior energy of mind, prakritim vidhi me param. There is, prakritim. There is an energy. Vidhi, you try to understand Arjuna. Me param. There is a param. Param means what? Param means superior. So apara means inferior. Uska matlab param means superior, no? So yes. So there is one more energy of mine which is superior to the energy which I have discussed just now. What is that? Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho. Jiva Bhutam. That is living entities. So the living entities are also Krishna's energy. That is what it means, right? So Jiva Bhuta is also Prakriti. That is what it means. There are some philosophers who say that jivas are energetic, jivas are Purusha. They are not Prakriti. Like that they have false conception. So what they do is they say that you keep on enjoying, na Baba, you are meant to this, you are only God. Some people say ना कि मैं ही भगवान हूँ, कभी तो लगता है मैं ही भगवान हूँ, ऐसा बोलते हैं ना लोग. तो वो लोग को ये वर्स कोट करके बताने का कि वो लोग मूड है, वो भगवान नहीं है, मूड है वो लोग. तो भगवान बोलते हैं कि प्रकृति में, राइट. See, itastvanyam. So there is one more form of energy of mind, which is what? Which is param, which is superior to the external separated energy. What is that? Jiva bhutam mahabaho. Jiva bhutam. And that is the living entities. Mahabaho. Krishna is calling to Arjuna. Mahabaho. Yayedham. Dharyate jagat. तो अर्जुना might have doubt, क्या करते हैं वो लोग? जीवभूतम, what do they do? Say that yaya idam. Yaya means they, by whom, by them. Idam, this, dharyate jagat. Dharyate means it is exploited or utilized. Dharyate jagat. They are those people, they are that form of my energy who do what? They exploit or utilize jagat. Jagat means that external energy जिसके बारे में हम लोगों ने थोड़ा टाइम पहले पढ़ा. समझे? So Krishna, what is he saying here? So what are they doing actually? They are actually superior to the external energy. What are they trying to do? They are trying to exploit the inferior energy. They are trying to exploit this world. They are trying to utilize this world. They are trying to enjoy this world. Like that Krishna is saying. Besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Right? एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वन् सर्वाणीत्युपधारय अहं कृत्स्नस्य जगतः प्रभवः प्रलयस्तथा. Now Krishna is saying that, now Krishna is speaking about himself. So Krishna is speaking about three people. ठीक है यहाँ पे. First he is speaking about the external energy, the separated energy. Then he is speaking about the marginal energy, the tatastha shakti, which is superior to the first mentioned external energy, and it is trying to exploit or utilize the inferior energy. Now Krishna is speaking. So Krishna spoke about this nature. Krishna spoke about us in the last verse. Now Krishna is going to speak about himself. What is he? That is what Krishna is saying. एतद योनिम भूतानि. एतद मतलब अभी मैंने जो मेंशन किया ना दो चीजें, वो दोनों. एतद, दीज टू नेचर्स. योनिनी. योनि मतलब क्या होता है? योनि मतलब वूम्ब होता है ना, योनि. या फिर योनि मतलब पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज और रूट वी कैन से. सो योनिनी मीन्स इट इज द सोर्स. ऐसा. तो एतद योनिनी भूतानि means that these two forms of energy is actually taking birth from me. ऐसा. एतद योनिनी भूतानि. Bhutani means everything that is created, which means both the things, external energy and the superior marginal energy, both these things. Yonini means the source. Sar, एक second, ना. Sarvaniti, Sarvan iti, Sarvani means all, iti, thus, Upadharaya means you know, you should know, like that. Arjuna, you must know this. So Arjuna, you must understand, you must know that both of these things, the material energy and the the external energy and the marginal energy, that is the living entities, both of these things, everything in this world that you can see, it is actually having roots in me. The source of both of these things is me. That you must know. Upadharaya. Aham kritsnasya jagatah. Aham means I. Krishna is saying I. Aham kritsnasya means everything, all inclusive. Jagatah, of the world. Prabhavaha. Prabhu means what? Prabhava means from where it is starting. The source or the beginning, you can say, is the source of manifestation. Pralayas tatha. Pralaya means what? It is destruction or annihilation. Tatha. So Krishna here is saying that I am only the root, I am only the source of all the creation of both the things, the material inferior energy and the superior marginal energy, and I am only the destroyer also. I only end these things. That is what Krishna is saying. All created beings have their source in these two natures of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. राइट. सो कृष्णा टोल्ड दैट जितने भी लिविंग जो कुछ भी हम लोग देख सकते हैं इस दुनिया में, उसका सब रूट्स किधर है? या तो वो लोग मटेरियल एनर्जी है, या फिर वो लोग तटस्थ है, जो मार्जिनल एनर्जी, जो लिविंग एंटिटी है. ये दोनों का रूट्स किधर है? ये दोनों का मतलब ये दोनों कहां से आ रहा है? ये दोनों एनर्जी कृष्णा का खुद का है. And so then, of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. I am only the dissolution also. Like the Krishna is saying. मेरे से ही आता है और मेरे से ही नाश होता है. मैं ये करता हूँ. Now Krishna is going one more step further. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. It's a very beautiful verse. Mattah parataram na anyat. Mattah means beyond me. मेरे से ऊपर. Parataram, superior. So somebody superior. Na anyat. There is nobody who is superior than me. That is what it is. Matta paradaram nanyat. Kinchid asti dhananjaya. Kinchid mean nothing, anything else. Asti, there is Dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, know that there is nothing or no one who is greater than me. Like that. Mai sarvam idam protam. Mai sarvam idam protam matlab in me. Mai, in me, sarvam. All that is idam protam, which we see. Protam means strung. So, mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana iva. So, if there is a necklace, and in that necklace there are many money, okay, there are many pearls and all those things. Just like the pearls and all this money, they are strung over a thread to make the necklace. Similarly, I am that thread. That is what Krishna is saying. I am just like that thread. I am just like that string on which every money and every stone and every jewels they are been placed. So there is nobody who is superior than me. There is nobody who exists who is superior than me. And I am what? I am just like that thread on which everything is placed. So this world is also placed on Krishna. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So beautiful, no? We can see Krishna everywhere when we see through Srimad Bhagavad Gita. रसोऽहम् अप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिसूर्ययोः प्रणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दः खे पुरुषं पौरुषं नृषु. It's a very beautiful verse. So first of all, what did Krishna say? So it is very important to understand. First of all, Krishna said that everything is coming from me. How? Because everything is created from the external energy. That external energy is me only. Now within that external energy, there are many different kinds of creation, right? So Krishna is saying that even the qualities in the creation is also me only. So in a way we can see Krishna everywhere. That is what Krishna is saying. Nothing is coming out of a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence in this world. It is actually by Krishna only. There is nothing which is, which Krishna is not aware about, because he is only there in everything. You see, rasoham apsu kaunteya. Apsu means water. So rasa means taste. Rasa aham apsu kaunteya. O kaunteya, o son of Kunti, पानी में apsu rasa means the taste in water is me, aham, rasoham apsu kaunteya. So water is jala, or water is apo in that verse, one of the five gross elements, and which is coming from the external separated energy of the Lord. And within that energy, in the water, the taste, the quality inside the water is also me. That is what Krishna is saying. See, rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoho. Prabhasmi, and prabha, the rays, the light inside shashi, that is moon, and surya, that is sun, that is also me only. Prabha asmi shashi suryayoho. Pranavah sarva vedeshu. Inside all the Vedas, Pranavah, the Omkara is me. Because in Vedas we can see that, every mantra before Ucharan we say Om, right? So in Pranava, the ultimate, the word, the Om is whom? It's Krishna only. Pranavah sarva vedeshu shabdah shabdah ke. So K means ether and Shabda means sound. So the sound inside ether is also me. So the sound travels through ether, and the sound inside ether is also whom? It is Krishna. And Paurusham Rishu. So Paurusham means it's the ability, and Rishu means a person, Nara, a man. So Krishna is the Paurusha in men, which means Krishna is the ability in men. So you see, in this way, Krishna is covering everything. Krishna is saying that I am just not the gross things is my part of energy, but this is also me only, like that. So in this way, Krishna is facilitating each and every one of us so that we can see Krishna in everything, qualitatively and quantitatively. That, for example, when we look at water, and when we are quenching the thirst, we can be grateful to Krishna that, my dear Lord, you are so nice. You have provided me with this, with your external energy, right? At the same time, when you are very thirsty and you appreciate the taste of the water that is quenching your thirst, you can say that, my dear Lord, this is you, like that. That is it. It's a very beautiful verse. पुण्यो गन्धः पृथ्व्यां च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु पुण्यो गन्धः पृथ्व्यां च. So prithvi means what? Prithvi means is earth, and gandha means the aroma, the smell. So, Punyo Gandha Prithvyamja, I am that divine smell in Prithvi, in earth. That is also me. Tejas Chasmi Vibhavaso. Vibhavaso means fire, and in fire there is Tejas. There is, what do you say? Heat. So the heat in fire is also me. So the fire is that external energy of the Lord, right? The one of the five gross elements, and in that fire also the heat, the quality is also Krishna. That is what it is. Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu, and I am the life of all the living entities, because it is from him only the living entities are coming. So he is the life of every living entity. So he is such dear to the living entity. It's just that we are forgetful. He is our life and soul, actually. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. And for the tapasvi, or the person who is practicing penance, I am the penance in him, right? So everything that a person is doing, the quality is Krishna. Whatever good qualities we have, it is from Krishna. It is Krishna, like that. So we should engage Krishna in service of Krishna. The qualities which are provided by Krishna in the service of Krishna. That is the idea. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. See. This is a very important verse. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham He's saying that bijam means seed, right? Bijam mam, I am the seed, sarva bhutanam, of everything that lives, every living entity. So I am the root, I am the bija, I am the seed of every living entity. I am the core of everything. Vidhi Partha Sanathanam, which means that we are part and parcel of him. That is what it means. Vidhi Partha Sanathanam. You must know this, O Partha Sanathanam. Buddhir Buddhimatam Asmi. And for person who is intelligent, Buddhimatam, what am I? I am his intellect, Buddhi. So I am the Buddhi of the Buddhiman, of the Buddhimatam. Like that. I am the intellect of the intelligent. Tejas Tejasvinamaham, and I am the prowess of the powerful. एक तेजस्वी व्यक्ति का तेजस भी मैं ही हूँ, ऐसा भगवान कह रहा है. O son of Pratha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of the intellect, and the prowess of all powerful men. So the next time when you see somebody who is very powerful or intelligent or have some good qualities, we must definitely connect it with Krishna. We must say that, oh, this Krishna. See, Krishna is giving us so many options that how can we, just connect and tap with him. So that is his grace. What can we say about it? Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. So very important words. See, balam balavatam chaham. I am what? Balam. I am Balam. Means I am the strength of whom? Balavatam. Of somebody who is strong. I am the strength of the strong. But Krishna says, what kind of strength he is? Kamaraga Vivarjitam. This is very important. He is Vivarjit. Kam or Raga se Vivarjit. Aisa. Vivarjitam means devoid of. He does not have Kama and Raga. So he is that Balam of the Balavan, which is Kama Raga Vivarjitam. Kama means lust and Raga means attachment. Is apart from this. Like that he says. And Prabhupada, it's very, beautifully, he says that the strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. So that personal aggression is not Krishna. That is what. He is the best among things. So Balam Balavatam Chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam. Without lust and without attachment. If there is some bala, that bala of the balavan is Krishna. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kama asmi, but at the same time he is kama also. But what kind of kama, what kind of lust he is? See, dharma aviruddha bhuteshu, that kama which is not devoid of dharma, which means that sex life which is regulated by dharma, which is regulated by the religious principles, that kama is also Krishna only. Now, somebody might say that without kama, how can offsprings come? So that's why here Krishna says that lust or that sex life is also me only, which is what? Which is dharma aviruddha bhuteshu, which is devoid of adharma, which is in religious line. That's what it is. Because there are religious principles of married life also, so it is very important. So in that religious or in that dharmic way of sex life, that is also Krishna only, so, to generate the offsprings. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas Arjuna. See, here Prabhupada mentioned. Similarly, sex life according to religious principles, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious. Somebody who is having this kind of sex life, that sex life is also Krishna only. It's very important to understand. So, the last verse for today. ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि नत्वहं तेषु ते मयि. Know that all states of being, be they goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. See, this is very important to understand. here Krishna says, I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. Why is it so? Because he says that the energy is separated है ना, भिन्न प्रकृति है ना, it is separated. So he is in one sense everything because the energy is his, but at the same time he is independent, which means that he is not subject to that energy. The energetic is not subject to that energy. Just like, for example, if I am the king, I am the person who is making the law, I would say that this punishment for this kind of thing, but at the same time I am not subjected to those punishments because I have made it. Similarly, the external energy of Krishna is is separated from him, which means that in one sense everything belongs to Krishna and everything is his only, everything is resting in him. But at the same time he is independent. Why? Because he is not subjected to those three modes of material nature. He is not subjected to those things, right? This is what Krishna is saying here. I am independent of these things. You must not be a fool to think that Krishna is subjected to Maya. It is impossible. Why? Because it is Bhinna Prakriti, it is outside him. At the same time it is resting within him, but he is unaffected by those things. What Krishna says here, see, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they on the contrary are within me. So the material nature is under full, it's under fully under control of Krishna. It is fully under control of Krishna, the material energy. But at the same time Krishna is independent from material energy. He is never under the spell of material nature, right? So we can put it in this way also, that you can think that if we jivas are superior to the material energy, so what is Krishna? So he can never come under control of the material energy. Like some people say that when Krishna came to this world he came with a material body. No, that is not right. Why is it not right? Because he clearly says he is not subjected to material modes. So if he is not subjected to material modes, he cannot have lust, anger, greed, anything. He is always perfect, the supreme personality of Godhead. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. If you have any comments or any questions, you may unmute yourself and ask now. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sir,
Yes.